us tonight at 10, I'm Maria Lizignoli.
And I'm Mark McPherson. First tonight, a lawsuit challenging Wisconsin's 174-year-old abortion law can continue. That's according to a court ruling today.
Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul filed the lawsuit days after Roe v. Wade was overturned last summer, seeking to repeal the state law. NBC 15's Tyler Peters spoke with some members from both pro-life and pro-choice organizations here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, Tyler, what comes next following today's ruling?
Yeah, Mark, Maria, one of the defendants, Sheboygan County's District Attorney Joel Urmanski, filed a motion seeking to dismiss this case back in December. Today, Dane County Circuit Judge Diane Schlipper ruled to deny that motion, meaning the lawsuit will continue.
It's not a final decision in this case, but it is a really, really important step toward fully restoring access to abortion and reproductive freedoms in Wisconsin.
A lawsuit challenging Wisconsin's 1849 abortion law will stay in court. This after Dane County Circuit Judge Diane Schlipper ruled to deny a motion to dismiss the case. Michelle Velasquez with Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin says this is an important step forward.
To resume providing abortion services that would be absolutely just an incredible victory toward not only restoring access, but hopefully protecting access and expanding access to this really important health service.
But Matt Sandy with Pro-Life Wisconsin says Friday's decision is extremely disappointing.
We'll continue to do our work to strengthen our abortion ban in Wisconsin, to clarify it, to continue to help out pregnant mothers with the resources that they need. Funding pregnancy resource centers, assisting with adoption.
Sandy says the future of abortion is in the hands of state lawmakers and judges.
So the battle continues. That's kind of what the Dobbs decision was about. It pushed this issue back to the states to be fought out in the legislatures, in the courts.
The case will stay in Dane County Court for now, but again, it will likely be appealed to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. In studio, Tyler Peters, NBC 15 News.